Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the show. It is very late here for me. It's gone 11 o'clock here in Spain, but welcome to the show. A bit of a late one tonight, but I wanted just me and you tonight, guys. We'll have a little chat about what's going on around the country because look, things are changing. Things are changing back home. Things are happening a lot faster than I imagined. I've just been watching Richard before I come live tonight. I was trying to get Richard on, but he's obviously been really busy doing what he's doing. I think he's going live again a little bit later. But Richard was on fire tonight, absolutely on fire. And I think the bottom line is that the people's political, peaceful, patriotic rebellion is now on. It started. It is happening. It's unfolding right in front of our very eyes, and I don't think there's any stopping it now. I think that, as I said, this is happening a lot faster than I imagined. Thankfully, it's peaceful at the moment, and that's the way we want to keep it. I know we keep talking about that, but that is obviously a prerequisite to keep things peaceful and legal. But a lot of stuff has been going on around the UK today. I've been doing my best. I mean, I've spent the day on the bloody phone, to be honest with you, watching events unfold, watching different areas as people are coming out protesting, having a lot to say for themselves. The women have been playing a massive role. And I think the bottom line is, look, the United Kingdom, the people of the United Kingdom have just had enough, haven't they? It's I think I said it in a recent video. We had 3 general elections and a Brexit vote to give the Tories in particular a mandate to do what we wanted, to do what the British people demanded. And they've been ignored, and this is the end result. And look, Keir Starmer and his cronies and the hard left and whoever else wants to scream and shout about what's going on and blame the far right, blame Tommy Robinson, blame whoever they want to blame. The only people they've got to blame is themselves. They need to look in the goddamn mirror. The bottom line is that if the British people had been listened to in the past, if Brexit had been delivered in the way in which it was voted for, if Brexit had been delivered and the people got what they wanted, if the Tories had carried out the mandate that the British people gave them on 3 occasions, then none of this will be happening. It's very simple. It's not my fault. It's not Richard's fault. It's not Tommy's fault. It's not Britain First's fault. It's not UKIP's fault. It's not Nigel Farage's fault. It's nobody's fault apart from the people that have continually ignored the mandate that we've given them in the past and the instructions, the demands that the British people have given 3 consecutive governments. We won't include the Labour government because Labour really won by default. They won by a mistake, really, didn't they? Let's be honest. So what's going on at the moment? As I said, it's a people's political, peaceful, patriotic revolution. It's a rebellion. It's started. It's up and running. And I don't think there's any. This is the start. I don't see any stopping this now. This is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And as I said at the opening, this is the fault of the politicians. They have no one else to blame but themselves. They can blame whoever they like. They can put in as many Section 42s outside as many hotels as they want. It is not going to make the problem go away. All it's doing is putting a sticking plaster over a great big ugly boil that isn't going to be lanced until this issue is got to the bottom of and resolved. Good evening to everyone. Sorry, I've started off with a bit of a rant. Maureen Carter, evening, Paul. Just heard protests have been banned now. Well, I think that's the one at Canary Wharf, isn't it? As I say, Section 42 has been put in place for 28 days. Like that's going to make a goddamn difference. Like that's going to mean that everyone goes home happy. and the problem's going to be resolved. It's not, is it? And did anyone else see that video? I'm sure you all have, of that expensive coach pulling up last night outside the hotel in Canary Wharf, and man after male after male after male getting off that coach. They all look like big fellas, 6 foot plus. They look like soldiers getting off of a bus, didn't they? And why are they busting at 1:30 a.m. in the morning? Well, we know why, of course, because they don't want us to see what's going on. They're trying to keep it from us. They want to keep it a secret, and that is the bottom line. That is a fact, and there's nothing we can do about that. That is what they are doing to us. When I say there's nothing we can do about that, I mean there's nothing we could do at 1:30 in the morning. It's happening. They did it. And it's just unbelievable. And the events of today, watching up and down the country, I'm looking at it. I've got some friends over here at the moment, and the guy that's here with me at the moment is not particularly political at all. In fact, he's really very non-political. He's just not politically engaged at all. He lives in a very nice area. He's a very sort of, how can I put it? He's quite a wealthy individual. He hasn't got any financial issues. He has his own business. As I said, lives in a nice area. There's no migration, illegal migration issues in his area. And he's completely non-political. And he's been, he watches my channel now and again, and he's been speaking to me over the weekend saying, Paul, why do I need to get involved? Should I be worried? What should I be thinking? And I'm saying, look, this is a battle the battle that is taking place right now, the political battle that is taking place right now, or is starting to take place up and down the country, may not affect you today, but it sure as goddamn hell going to affect you in years to come. And even if you don't live that long, this guy's in his mid-60s, even if you don't live that long, it's going to affect your children and your grandchildren. So you can either join the fight now, you can either join the political fight now, or you can leave a different type of fight for your children and your grandchildren to deal with. Which one would you prefer? And, he understands this. And I managed to get him to sign up to Advance UK on the phone whilst we was out this afternoon. So that's another member for Advance UK, and we'll get to Advance UK a little bit later on. What I'm going to do this evening, I'm going to throw the show open. I'm going to get one or two people on the show tonight. Let me just copy the link. I'm going to put it in the chat there. I will be letting one person on at a time. So the link is in the chat, one person on at a time. You're going to have to be polite, keep it sensible, keep it legal. But I want you to come on tonight, and I want to hear from you guys what you think is happening right now. What is starting here in the UK right now? Because, as I say, there are protests that are building right across the country, right across the nation. Where do you see this going? What is happening? And why all of a sudden have the people decided that enough is enough? What was the breaking point for the nation? Andrew SD, thank you very much. Good evening, Mr. Thorpe. Will Ben be speaking on the 13th? And what are the current membership numbers for Advance UK? God bless. I can tell you that over the last 24 hours or so, the membership figures have gone absolutely crazy. I don't know about the 13th. So, I mean, he's obviously down to Ben. George is first online. George, good evening, George. Can you see me?
Hello, Paul. Yeah, loud and clear, mate. Yeah, good, mate. You okay?
I'm very well, George. What you got on your mind, my brother?
Oh, you're gone, Paul. Can't see you. I see you're back again. Yeah, no, all good. Understand. Right, there's a lot going on at the moment. Obviously, I am aware of our country sort of going through this turmoil, and I just think at the moment we're a bit of a tinderbox. I am in Clacton-on-Sea, so our good old mate Nigel is my MP.
Yeah.
So I decided last Friday to do my first ever demo. So I organised it down in Clacton-on-Sea, which is quite a. We don't normally have these sort of things down here. I don't know why. You know, we're sort of a little bit out of the way, and I got all of 6 people came, which was amazing because I was there on my own, Paul, for the first half
Yeah.
hour. I didn't care. Outside the town hall, I just give it large. I wasn't going to allow that to stop me. So hopefully, again this Friday, 7 p.m. outside Clacton Town Hall, I'm going to be banging it out again. We have got a little bit of a stranger issue in Clacton-on-Sea. It's a bit different. We don't have many migrant hotels here, but what our local council have been using is the HMOs, which
Right.
is they're a little bit out. As you well know about the HMOs, we've got a lot of old B&Bs in this area, like 10, 15 bedrooms,
Yeah.
and they've all been
Yeah.
converted into HMOs. So they're a little bit, I'm not going to say they're a little bit disguised. They're not like the average, obviously, hotels when we just know we can see them coming and going. These are actually sort of camouflaged in the background, and
Yeah.
this is how
Yeah.
our local council are dealing with it. So my belief is obviously, and me and you've spoken before, Paul, when you were back in the UK, we were both
Yeah.
on the same page with the same problem. This isn't going to go away. This issue is going to continue, and it's going to just get worse. Just going to get worse. So we just need to have that, as you say.
Yeah, George, I had a report the other day that there was a new migrant hotel that would maybe just been taken over in Clacton. Did you hear anything about that?
I got it through the grapevine today, Paul. I heard that may have been the Travel Lodge.
Right.
But until I confirm that, I need to find out.
Yeah.
So should that be the case, then obviously that's going to be the place to go, and I will ensure that I will sort of generate as many people as Paul. I don't really care I don't care if I'm on my own, Paul. I don't
Yeah.
really bother. I'm
No,
past
look,
caring.
do you know what,
Past caring.
George? Do you know what, George? I mean, look, I've never been a fan, if I'm honest. Up until recently, I've never been a fan. I've got to say. By the way, Surya is up next. Surya, I can see you waiting in the background there, my friend. You'll be up in just a couple of moments. I've never been a massive fan of street demonstrations or flash demonstrations because I've always feared that if they're not properly organised and agreed with the police, that things can turn nasty. But I've got to say that right now, what's happening up and down the country, as long as it remains peaceful, I applaud it 100%, and I'm really proud, really proud. And I must admit, sitting here in bloody Spain, I'm absolutely gutted that I'm not back at home, being able to get down there, offer everyone a bit of support, But well done to you guys.
Paul, listen, buddy, Paul. Can I just say to you, Paul, you did enough. You carried that baton, boy. You have done enough. So don't ever feel guilty about that. You done enough, and you made people come awake. The others, let them go, mate. It's not a problem. They don't quite understand how big this problem is. But for what you did, and Danny, mate, you did more than enough, and I
Well, we're
really
still
appreciate
trying.
that.
We're
I
still
thank you
trying.
from my heart.
No,
I
thank
know
you.
you are, mate. I know you are.
George, thank you so much, brother. Listen, good luck at the weekend or next week when you're back there
Yeah.
again. And
Anybody down in Clacton, Paul?
Yeah.
Yep, definitely. Anybody down in Clacton,
Spread
you
the
will
word.
see us Friday, 7 p.m. 100%.
Fantastic. Make sure I know you will, but make sure you treat the police with respect, behave yourselves, and keep it peaceful.
100%. Thanks, Paul.
All the best, George. Thank you, mate. Surya is up next. Am I pronouncing that right? I can't hear you, mate. Hold on a minute. Oh, your mic's muted.
All right. Is it better
There
now?
you go. Got ya.
Yeah. All right.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. And I will congratulate you that, in spite of being in Spain, you are making your voice heard in the United Kingdom. And in today's world, it does not matter whether you are in the, physically present in the UK or any part of the world.
Yeah.
As long as there's technology, you can make your voice equally heard as anybody in the UK.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Thank you. I appreciate that. So
And
what you got on your mind? Welcome to the show.
yeah, I mean, what I've got in my mind is that, I think it's very important that everybody in the UK should, make their voice heard, whether, every citizen, whether they are white or brown or, or any other color, that does not matter, because it is time to be united, against.
Absolutely.
Because these people are not, they are coming illegally. Yeah, they are not, they are not coming through the front door, and they are not adding value. Mostly these are from criminal background, and we can see that they are already committing crimes in various towns and cities. So it's very important, because the mainstream media is not going to raise the voice, and it's mainly YouTubers like you and other people who are, making big noise, apart from just maybe GB News and Talk TV. So I think it's very important, the job that you are doing to make people, aware of all these things. Yeah. So
I appreciate that, and it's brilliant to have someone like yourself on, because obviously, where do you come from originally?
Yeah, originally come from India.
Okay, I mean it's great, because there are people obviously on the hard left that would say that all of us social media commentators were all far right, racist thugs, etc., etc., and we hate people of different backgrounds and different skin colours. But look, that's simply not the goddamn case, is it? We're not. This is not about colour. This is not about disliking people from different backgrounds. This is about the safety of our nation, the safety of our children.
Exactly, and I think they are far wrong, So maybe that's the term we should be using.
Wrong, like that, yeah. No, absolutely, and it, I couldn't agree more. It is time for everyone to unite. It is time for people to get together, black and white, unite, and understand that we all want the same thing. We all just want peace and harmony. But the way things are going in this country, that's all going to go out the window. We got a huge problem, and I don't think anyone wants that. Who wants that? Nobody wants that, surely.
Yeah, I mean, we already have had so much problem due to the rape gangs, and then this is like rubbing salt on the wounds,
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, by the way, Jack Bradley is up next. Jack, I'll be with you in just a minute, mate. I mean, look, you mentioned that, and this report today, I mean, just today, anger grows at cover-up of 2 Afghan asylum seekers being charged over the alleged, I won't read the next word, of a 12-year-old girl, after police advised authorities not to reveal their background. What the hell is all that about? I mean, this is precisely the sort of thing that is flaming the problems that are slowly starting to occur up and down the country. All we want is the truth and transparency.
Exactly. I think it's very important that whether people are from the minority background or from the white background, the same standard should be applicable to everybody.
Absolutely.
And and not hide the names of people if they are from ethnic minority backgrounds. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Mate, lovely. Thank you so much for coming on. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on. Really appreciate your support, and keep watching.
Thank you, Paul.
All the best, brother. Take care, mate. All the best.
Bye-bye.
All the best. Bye-bye. Jack, good evening, Jack. How you doing, mate?
Hi, Paul. How are you?
I'm very well, Jack. You?
Yeah, so about the demonstrations, I think, we've done good at that so far. We've had them in Epping, Canary Wharf, that. What we need is them not just in London, but also at towns and cities like all around the country.
Yeah.
Of course, arrange it with the police stuff, or else it might, get out of hand. That's what we don't want.
Yeah, we don't want it going wrong.
Yeah, because we know what happens. People might get hurt. Stuff what nobody wants. Also, I think at some point we will need those demonstrations. Like, if possible, could we potentially have them outside the actual Tory and Labour headquarters themselves, and do it whilst Starmer and Kemi and that are in there? That way we can really, wind them up.
Jack, I'll be honest with you. I think right now, any peaceful demonstrations anywhere that has a positive effect are a good idea. I think it's a great idea, but at the end of the day, I think there are certain laws. I'm not sure. Maybe someone in the chat can tell us, but I think there are certain laws that stop you from demonstrating in certain places, like too close to the Houses of Parliament. I'm not sure, Jack, to be honest with you, but I've heard of that in the past. But my view is any peaceful demonstration right now that is raising awareness of the mood of the British people and how fed up we are, how much we've had enough, I think is a positive thing. And that's coming from someone who in the past has been, as I've already said, not the greatest fan of street protests, not because I don't believe in them or because I don't believe in the cause. It's because I don't trust the authorities to treat our people with fairness. And my worry is for the individuals out there. It could be you, it could be someone in the comments right now, it could be absolutely anyone. There's been a few people been arrested today, I believe. I've been watching one of them on Tuesday a minute ago that was arrested today. I don't want that to happen, Jack. I don't want to see patriots being arrested, manhandled, and unfairly put in jail or in a cell overnight. That hurts me because I know they got families to go home to. Look, I agree. I think any peaceful protest right now is a good thing. Jack, I think you've been you are a big UKIP fan. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, and also I wanted to ask you this because you've got Ben Habib and Advance UK's ear, right? You've got their attention. Is it possible, could you try and get them to try and be allies with Nick Tanconi at UKIP at some point and not make campaign videos or ads attacking them?
Yeah, I mean, look, absolutely. Yeah, Jack, I think. Go on, carry on.
Yeah, what we don't want is vote splitting because we know who benefits from that. It's Starmer and Bain, not the people we hate.
Yeah, absolutely. Jack, look, I think we've had one or two back and forths about UKIP in the past. And look, I respect Nick Tanconi. I respect UKIP. I've been a member of UKIP, Jack, myself. I joined UKIP years ago. I'm a big fan of what they believe in, etc., etc. But I think that Ben just offers a bit more maturity, a bit more, perhaps a bit more, what's the right word? A bit more political nous. For me, Nick is a great campaigner. He's an activist. The trouble is, Jack, is that we have to attract Mr. and Mrs. Smith at number 56, or the guy that I was talking about earlier on that's out here right now, who's not really politically minded. Nick is going to be, it's going to be tough to break through with Nick, to get masses and masses and masses of votes. I've interviewed Nick, I've met him, I like him, I respect him. Yes, 100%. For me, with Tommy yesterday backing Ben and Advance, that for me was a key moment, a very, very key moment, because what I believe what Tommy was saying, look, Ben is our best chance. Let's all get behind Ben. So now really it's up to Nick, it's up to Rupert Lowe, it's up to all the other guys from whatever parties. This is a political party that anyone is free to join. And my advice to anyone, even if you're a member of UKIP, if you're a big Nick Tanconi fan, look, it's a tenner. Join Advance. Let's hedge our bets and let's see where we go. I'm sure there is a place for Nick Tanconi somewhere down the line, but that's really up to Nick. That's up to Nick.
Yeah, I'll try and join Advance UK at some point, but before I do that, I have to sort the bank card out because a while back Google started messing around with it. But once I've got that sorted, I'll go and find the money to join Advance. Yeah, I like Ben Habib.
He's a great man. Jack is a great man. Right, Sean is up next. Jack, all the best to you, mate. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you very much.
Okay.
See you, mate. Bye. Sean, good evening, mate.
Evening, Paul.
How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Are you?
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear a bit of bounce back. I can hear my own voice. If you could turn the volume down, maybe.
Just 1 minute. Is that all right for you?
That sounds a bit better. I think that's okay. How you doing? What's on your mind, mate?
I'm smashing, mate. Are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Good. Right. What I want to thank you for, first of all, is I want to thank you, Danny, Richard, and everybody else for what you do for everybody on this channel and everybody in the UK, even though you're not here.
Thank you, mate. I really appreciate that. I love my people. You know, that's the bottom line, Sean. I love my people.
And we love you, Paul.
Thank you.
We love you. And I've been watching Richard tonight, and before you come on, and everything that Richard's been going on about, especially in Manchester, with Britain First, that was absolutely fantastic yesterday. And that's what we want all over the country.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we do.
Absolutely, Sean. Look, you know, as Richard said, look, I'm not the biggest fan of Britain First for one or two reasons, but at the end of the day, the time for nitpicking amongst different groups is over.
Correct.
And when I watched that march come through Manchester yesterday, the hairs on the back of my neck stood up.
Yes,
it was amazing. And I will say, if Paul Golding gets to see this and the people at Britain First, hats off to you yesterday. I thought that was absolutely unbelievable. It was well organised. There was no trouble that I saw. It was done in a gentlemanly fashion, and all I saw was a load of proud British people there standing up for their country, putting Britain first, and I think that's right.
Yeah, definitely. We've got to stick up for ourselves, Paul. We've got to.
We've got to. And Sean, do you know what? This is the irony of all this. I think these people are too thick to realise this. These crazy lefties, they're bringing us all together. So crack on.
And they don't realise, do they?
They
just
don't realise
it.
They're too stupid. If they just go home, you know, and leave us alone, half the people wouldn't even. I mean, look at the growth of the social media. Look at the growth of the citizen journalists. I'm so proud of the boys and girls that are getting out there now with their iPhones, their cameras, and they're like, right, come on, let's have some of this. We're gonna show the world what's going on. We're gonna do our bit. And I said this weeks and weeks and weeks ago on a video. Anyone can do this. Just pick up your phone, do it. If you know you can help, you know, you can take up this fight, take up this battle and be part of it by picking up your mobile phone and going out there and reporting.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it comes to something, Paul, when you're watching Mike Graham and things like that and Talk TV, and they've all got these different auditors on now that's going round and filming. Yeah,
it's brilliant.
It's fantastic. It is.
Lisa says Richard the Lion roared. Richard was absolutely on fire, and I was saying to him, Richard, calm down before you have a bloody heart attack, mate. You know, evening Claire Bear. But no, look, listen, I've known Richard now. I first met Richard on St George's Day last year, 2024. 2024. And we've been great buddies ever since. You know, I mean, Richard is one of the most, if not the most passionate, patriotic, kind-hearted, decent people that I've ever met in my life. He's a credit to the movement. And it's no wonder that Tommy has him around him a lot because, you know, if I was going to fault him, and Richard will put his hands up to this himself, you know, Richard is hot-headed, you know, he gets fired up, you know, and sometimes I have to put my arm around him and say, just take it down the notch, Rich, you know, because we don't want you getting into any trouble or saying things you shouldn't say because bless his heart, you know, he's so passionate about what he does.
He's just a patriot, Paul, like we are. That's all it is.
100%, you know, and you know, watching what has been going on, I thought, you know, I've got a confession to make here, Sean, and I'll tell it to you, right? When I came out here, I said to my wife, you know what, for the sake of my own mental health, I've got to pull back from this a little bit. I've got to take a little bit of a step back because it's killing me, right? And do you know what, mate? I've been out here. It's just got even worse because I can never, ever, ever give up this battle. I can't give up this fight. I can't.
None of us can. None of us can. No. I mean, I've been on 3 or 4 marches, Paul, and I've seen Richard. I've seen Tommy. I've spoke to them. They'll not remember me, but I've spoke to them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Birmingham, Manchester, London.
Yeah. And we have I think the thing is, what's built up here is a camaraderie, or camaraderie. Is it a camaraderie between us all? You know, the patriotic community now is becoming so strong. And I'll say this: I don't know if you're a football man.
Yes, I am.
I'm a big football guy. Right? I love my football.
Big Sheffield United fan.
Well, good luck to Sheffield United this year. I bet that'll upset one half of the city, but there you go. By the way, Sheffield, what a footballing city that is. You won't get much bigger than the Sheffield Derby, will you? Unbelievable.
No. Oh, no.
Unbelievable. No. But going back quickly, I mean, look, on the 13th of September, right, someone said this earlier on, so I'm not trying to take credit for this, but they were spot on the money. Someone said earlier on the 13th of September, do you know what? Sod the football. London, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Forget the football. Get yourselves into central London. Get yourselves on that event, because you know what? If you don't, in 10 years' time, there may not even be any bloody football. Yeah. The way things are going.
On the FLA march, Paul, when we went on it years ago, 80,000 patriots in London. Every football firm in the country all come together. Yeah. Not one bit of trouble. Nothing.
Yeah. And that's the way it bloody well should be as well, I mean, at the end of the day, I've actually taken a bit of stick for saying this in the past, but you know what? The football lads, as much as I respect them and I love them and I know a lot of them, and sometimes they infuriate me because we've got this thing going on in our country, and on a Saturday afternoon they're out there knocking 2 bells of crap out of each other over a game of football. It's doing my head in.
Yeah. So, I think there's a lot though that's coming together now, Paul, and I do.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, as kids are more important, and that's it. That's what we've got to look after.
Spot on. That is the thing. It's all about our children. Now, Sean, before I let you go, mate, I want to ask you, what do you think is the cause? There's been a big shift in the last few weeks. There's been a big awakening, a big shift. What do you think was the catalyst for that? Anything in particular, or is it just a build up?
No, I think it's build up. I think it's everything. It's the corrupt government, isn't it? That's what's doing it. Yeah. The lies they're telling us all the time. People's waking up now. They're telling us things. Oh, this is not going to happen. That's not going to happen. The day after, 2 days after, it happens.
They've lied about. I mean, mate, they've gaslit us to the point of. You couldn't actually. My wife says, you know what? My wife says, I feel like I'm in a dream. And I'm going to wake up tomorrow and find this was all a joke. It's just surreal as to what is happening. And not only have they lied to us, they've lied to us and then stuck their fingers up to us afterwards.
They're laughing at us, Paul, as well. They're laughing at us.
Exactly.
And it's as though, when they keep saying there's going to be riots this summer, it's as though they want them to happen.
Exactly, yeah. And if there was, and please God there isn't, right? But if there was, like I said at the top of the show, who would be to blame? Because it's they that are doing everything in their power to upset the people. They're not doing, I mean, commentators like myself, I come onto my channel and I try and keep a lid on things. I try and keep people calm. I say, look, do what you want to do. If you want to go out there and protest, fine, great, but please behave, respect the police, do everything legal. How much longer are people going to listen to me, Sean? How much longer are people going to listen to people like me saying, keep it calm, keep it sensible? People are going to end up saying, I've had enough of you, stop that, we're not getting anywhere.
Well, that proved it yesterday, didn't it? You've got Antifa. You've got 4 left in London yesterday. What were police doing? Shoving them back.
Yeah.
They didn't get batons out, truncheons out, put the bleeding helmets on and that, like they would do for far right, as we so called. Not just right, far right. They just don't arrest them, do they? There's no done to them, nothing.
Yeah, exactly. And something else I've noticed as well is the amount of people that are perhaps not indigenous, like the gentleman we just had on a minute ago, who is not indigenous to this country, but has come to this country to live properly, to respect our laws, our way of life, our culture. They're just as sick of it as we are.
Yeah.
And if I was an immigrant that had come here, say, from in the 1970s, and I'd come from Asia somewhere or whatever, I'd be worried now that I'm going to be tarred with the same brush as these other people. So they have as much to fight for here as we have.
Yeah.
It's very important that this battle must be won. And I think now we're at the point of no return, that the like I said, the peaceful, patriotic rebellion has started, and I think there's no stopping it now. And I think that it's going to be, the next few months are going to be very, very interesting indeed. And September the 13th, Sean, is going to be, I just can't even imagine what it's going to be like.
I'll be there, Paul. I'll definitely be there.
I think it's going to be an event like none of us will have ever seen in our lives. Nicola, Richard was fab tonight. I absolutely agree. Sean, thank you so much for coming on, mate. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, Paul. And
good to see you, brother. Look after yourself, mate. Take care.
You too, Paul. Thank you.
All the best. Right, guys, so I popped the link into the chat there. If anyone else wants to pop on this evening, I'm going to try tonight and start a little campaign. You might like this, you might not like this, but I'm going to try and start a little campaign. HL says very dark times. I think there's some light at the end of the tunnel. I've been more infused over the last couple of days than I have been for many months. I mean, Tommy's announcement yesterday was huge. Advanced UK's membership has gone through the roof overnight, literally gone through the roof. But there's two things I want to talk about here. First of all, let's raise our flags back home. If you've got a Union Jack, if you've got the St George's flag, the flag of St Andrew, if you've got the Welsh flag, you've got the Northern Irish flag, whichever home country's flag you have, even if it's an Irish flag, whatever, raise it. Let's get the flags flying in our country again. Let's show these Palestine flag waving lunatics that this is the United Kingdom. This is our country. And if you're going to live here, this is the flag that counts. This is the flag that matters. This is the flag and the laws that we live under. And don't you goddamn forget it. This is our country. So let's get those flags out. Let's get those flags flying. Let's see if we can get this going viral. Let's get your pictures. Let's get your videos. Get them on YouTube. Do a short. Do a picture, put it on your Snapchat, put it on your TikTok, put it on your Instagram, put it anywhere. But let's get these flags flying back at home. That's the first thing. And let's see if we can get that ball rolling. When you're in the chat of the other YouTube, the live channels, Tuesday and Jeff, etc., stick it in the chat. Get the flags flying, everyone. Get those Union Jacks, those St George's crosses, etc. Get them outside your house, hang them outside your window, do whatever you want to do with them, but get them flying. Put them in your cars, whatever. That's the first thing. The second thing is this. I've got a challenge for you tonight. And it's a challenge that I want everyone to try and rise to. And this is gonna shock a few people, this, when I tell you this. I can feel a sneeze coming on. If I do, I'm going to have to mute it for a minute. Paul Christopher, Labour are acting like the KGB by banning peaceful protests. Well, we know this. We know this 100% for sure. Let's have a little look. Epic 2000, thank you very much. Lots of eye-popping podcasts and documentaries available at the moment. Winston Marshall talks about the end of the post-war consensus. Other videos talk about communism and links to mass immigration. Please watch them all. Thank you very much. Yeah, as I said a minute ago, Epic 2000, I am super proud, super duper proud of all the citizen journalists out there, all the auditors that are getting out there doing their jobs. Yes, they are earning money. I know that people will say, oh, they're grifting, they're earning a few quid, blah, blah, blah. You know, but there will be people out there who are more worried about a few auditors earning a few quid than there are thousands and thousands of unknown males with unknown backgrounds wandering around their towns and villages. For some reason, money plays a big role in people's twisted minds. And by the way, on that subject, for those out there that have called me a grifter, oh, Thorpe, he's a grifter, he's only doing it for the money. Well, I don't know what's happened to YouTube, but my last 3 or 4 videos have earned a total of about 19 quid. As Andy the Cabby was saying, I think they're onto that one as well, and they pretty much demonetising us. Will I be stopping? Will I Ella's like? In fact, I'll be making even more goddamn videos. Do you know what they can do with their money? They can shove it where the sun don't shine. This ain't about the money. This is about the pride and the passion and the belief in our people and our country. And no matter what happens, even if we have to end up doing it for goddamn free, we'll still be here. Epic 2000, thank you very much again. Please book all your holidays in Great Yarmouth and Clacton. Spend money and support Rupert and Nigel's constituents. These people got us a voice in Parliament. We stand together. AJ Audits, thank you very much, mate. Hi, Paul. Tried. Whoa, hold on. You got a little visitor there. Hi, Paul. Tired after 2 weeks filming protest. AJ Audits, big round of applause, mate. Been watching your videos. Anyone that hasn't subscribed, go over to AJ Audits and subscribe to his channel, please. All these boys that are getting out there doing the business. Do you want to come and say hello? Come on, come and say hello. There he is, look. This is my favourite cat. He's such a lovely boy, aren't you? Hey, you're a beauty. Go on, off you go. All of you auditors out there that have been working so hard, and I tell you now, these lads deserve every single penny they earn. And if you don't believe me, go out there and give it a try. It's not as easy as you think. Yes, anyone can pick up a phone and go and take a video, but to be in the positions that these boys put themselves in, to get on the front line and put themselves on offer, not only with the authorities, but also with the nutters that are hanging around. It takes guts, it takes balls, it takes skill, it takes courage, it takes all of those things. So well done, lads, to all of you, and thank you very much for that. Andrew SD, thank you. Want to thank for the great work you do. I do have a concern, though. I like Rupert, but yet to see him engage with us lot. Thoughts? Andrew, totally on board with that. You know, like many of you watching this now, I'm a big fan of Rupert, so I like Rupert a great deal. My one concern with Rupert is his lack of, let's put it, I'll be blunt, his lack of communication with us lot. And I don't mean me. I don't mean me personally, although I've held out my hand to Rupert and said, Rupert, would you come on the show? Let's have a little look and, you know, let's have a chat, blah, blah, blah. I get the feeling that maybe I'm not quite his type. That's absolutely fine. Don't mind. No problems whatsoever. But that is not going to... If I'm not Rupert's type, if Liam Tufts is not good enough for Rupert, then it kind of leaves me wondering, well, who is? And I get the feeling that Rupert may just feel that the Conservative Party is where he's going to end up trying to go and maybe change. We're all sick of the Tories, right? They're done. I'm no advisor to Rupert Lowe, but if I was, I'd say, Rupert, get yourself sat next to Ben Habib and let's go. Let's go. Let's unite. Let's do it. Sharon Ray, thank you, Sharon. I would come on, but dyeing my hair maybe next time. Richard was brilliant. You all have been. We love you and Richard and Danny. We have to stand up now for the sake of our kids and country. I'm all in. See you on the 13th. Sharon, thank you so much, darling. One of my regular viewers, and I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Cheers, Debbie, and thank you, David Crosby. Hi, Paul. The taxpayers rule the United Kingdom. Yeah. George Williams, thank you. Demo Clacton Friday, 7 p.m. Join us. So that was Jules that was on earlier. Thank you, Jules. Demo in Clacton on Friday at 7 p.m. That should be an absolute cracker because there's a lot of people down in Clacton, a lot of great salt of the earth people down in Clacton. I've got a lot of friends down there. God bless them all. Lovely, lovely, lovely families. Friday, 7 p.m. Gareth, thank you. Good to see the Patriotic Paul back in action. Mate, I have never been away, Gareth. I've had my wobbles and my twists and my turns, but that is life, don't we? We all have our difficult moments. We all have our trials and tribulations. But look, you know, it is what it is. Like Richard said earlier on, I think I've given up worrying about what other people think now. I know what's in my heart. I know what I care about. I know what I'm passionate about, and I just do my thing. If people like it, great. If they don't, well, that's fine. That's their prerogative. What else was there that I wanted to talk about? I've made a few notes here. Yes, a teacher has been sacked. In fact, let's get the headline up, shall we? I've got it here somewhere. A teacher who was called Islamophobic and sacked after describing Lucy Connolly's prison sentence as two-tier policing, says she has been the victim of a witch hunt. Well, I never. Would you believe that will be possible? Really? In the UK in 2025, do you think it's possible that someone has been sacked and has been the victim of a witch hunt because she said Lucy Connolly's prison sentence was as a result of two-tier policing and as a two-tier criminal justice system? Yeah, we all know the answer to that one, don't we? By the way, guys, if you haven't done so already, please give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. That would really, really be appreciated. Now, one of the things that went on over the weekend, just today, I believe, down in Canary Wharf, was that one of the migrants in the hotel threw a missile out of the window that just missed a family walking by. Obviously, disgraceful behaviour that could have caused serious injury or even worse, potentially, if it had hit the wrong person. And one of the migrants inside the hotel was filmed running his finger across his throat. Now, look at this guy. Just look at this guy. He looks a big man. He looks fit. He's probably in his early 30s, looking at him early, mid-30s. This looks like a soldier to me. This looks like almost like a military style guy. What is he doing, making gestures like that to people outside? And why are the police not going in and dealing with that situation? This guy has just come here illegally and is already making threats to kill people outside. What on earth are we doing in this country? And that, ladies and gentlemen, that image there alone tells you why the country has had enough and there's no going back now. Now, the other thing that I wanted to talk to you about this evening, I'm sorry I've not getting through too many of the comments, but when you're on your own, reading the comments, going through the comments is quite difficult. The supers are a bit easier for me because they are highlighted. George Williams, thanks. Paul, you look on fire, brother. Unite the kingdom. Unite the kingdom. We are fighting back and people are uniting. One of the things that was disillusioning me so much at one stage, one of the things that was eating away at me and I was feeling so disillusioned about, was that people appeared to be splintering within the movement. People appeared to be getting further apart. The unity looked further away than it had ever been. And all of a sudden, for some reason, everything is coming together. And as Richard himself said earlier on, it doesn't goddamn matter if you don't quite agree with the person sitting next to you. It doesn't matter if you don't quite like that particular policy. We all have to be man enough to look at the bigger picture. Tommy's always done that. And, you know, personally, I've always done that. There are people out there that can't, and they need to learn to change. Please learn and accepts that we're never all going to get everything that we want or everything that we like. That just doesn't happen in life. And again, you know, I know some people might laugh when I use these analogies, but I go back to my football analogies, and I use it all the time. You know, I sit down at Craven Cottage on a Saturday afternoon, and the geezer next to me might really dislike the goalkeeper that we're playing, and I might think he's the best goalkeeper we've ever had. It don't really matter. All that really matters is that he keeps the ball out of the back of the net, right? It don't really matter. The guy next to me could be a pro-Palestine supporter, and my politics are going to be completely different to his, but it don't matter because we both want the same football team to win. That's the way that we've got to look at this right now. And Ben Habib and Advance UK is that political answer for me. As Tommy said yesterday, we are no longer politically homeless. Now, the challenge that I was going to talk to you about earlier on top of raising your flags back home, get your bloody flags flying outside your houses. Let's show this goddamn country. Let's show Keir Starmer. Let's show this government. Let's remind them who this country belongs to. Now, the other thing that I was going to talk about is the joker that is Jeremy Corbyn. And I say a joker, we have to take him very seriously, because I'm going to give you a very shocking statistic now that he's going to, if it doesn't frighten you, then it bloody well should do. Let me just have a sip. If this doesn't shock you to the core, then it bloody well should do. And if it doesn't motivate you to get onto the link that is running across the screen right now, join Advance UK today at www.advanceuk.org.uk. Jeremy Corbyn's new party, that is, their entire stick really is based on pro-Palestine, Islamic community, hard left, etc., etc. They had 600,000 people register their interest with that party. 600,000 people. Can we not beat that? Can England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, can we not beat that number? What the hell? That's how organised they are. That's how determined they are. That's how they will stick together. They're like glue. They will stick together. What about us? Can we not beat that number? Reform have been going now for how long? 200,000 members? 600,000 members, or 600,000 registrations of interest. That just shows you how politically organised and how politically active and how politically aware these people are. How the left, they're so much more engaged. We have to understand this, and that is why everyone watching this right now should sign up. Please, I beg of you, I implore you, you and your family, your friends, we must get the numbers that we need to get Ben the support that he needs and get us on our way. advanceuk.org.uk. And it doesn't matter which party you support on the centre right, whether you're a Tory, whether you're I don't class the Tories as centre right anymore, they're over to the left. But if you're a Tory, if you're a Reform voter, if you're UKIP, if whoever you are, join Ben Habib's party. Join the fight. Tommy's joined. I'm a member. Richard's a member. All the good people that you know, we're all members. Join us, and let's take this to the next level politically. Epic 2000, thank you very much. Someone get a team planting flags on our natural landmarks: Snowdon, Ben Nevis, Scaffold Pike, etc. Get videos on YouTube. Yeah, put your videos up on YouTube. Sorry, the text is a bit small there on this laptop. Having trouble reading that. Paul, let's have a look. AJ Aldis again. Thank you, mate. Paul, did you read my community post to do with the email from the Mail Online? I did, my friend, and my reply to them, we have to stick up for what is right. AJ Aldis, the dirty doggy Daily Mail, asked AJ Aldis for permission to use some of his film, and he gave him the middle finger. So well done, massive. Do you know what, mate? I meant to actually shout that out, and I'm glad that you've reminded me. So well done, Debbie. Hope to meet you on the 30th of September, my first ever rally. Debbie, fantastic. Bring as many people with you as you possibly can. We need 500,000 people in London on September the 13th. For me, nothing should. The football stadiums should be empty. In fact, they should postpone the football that weekend so that everyone can come to the event. This isn't about missing a game of football. This isn't about having the expense of coming down to London. This isn't about I was going to be, going out with my mates that evening or whatever. This is about the future of our country for our kids. Janine White, thank you, Janine. Hi, Paul. I am giving up my Hammers versus Spurs on the 13th. There you go. This is so important to make a stand for our kids and our grandkids. Thanks for everything you all do. Janine, well done. Because we all know how much our football means to all of us, right? We all love our clubs, irrespective of who they are, big, small, middle, medium, whatever. We all love our football. It doesn't matter if you support West Ham or Spurs or whether you support Woolstone or Southend. It doesn't matter. All of our football clubs are as important to us as the next man. But for one day, let's just do it. Gareth, thank you, Gareth. Ben is our true leader. Join Advance UK. Could not agree more. Absolutely could not agree more. Evening Full Peak of Mambo, thank you very much. Paul says, thanks for the video about Advance UK. Join today. Kelly, poor Richard, he's so pissed. Don't blame him. Look, listen, you gotta love Richard, right? I mean, he just works so hard. Richard's channel is Counter Media or Richard Inman. Please subscribe to both if you haven't already seen Richard's channel. It's Richard Inman. I'm not even sure how you spell it. Is it I-N? No, it's I-M-A-N, Richard Inman, and Counter Media. Hi, Sharon, how you doing? Yeah, put the fire out before he goes to bed. Absolutely. So many people joining. Look, John Burke joined at Advance UK today, and great you've also joined. And obviously, Tommy, we can do this together. We are stronger. John, thank you so much for that, John, and well done. Congratulations for becoming a member. This is the thing, look, Ben is inviting intellects and people of all different backgrounds, different levels of education. People like myself have been invited to join the college, and I will represent you guys. Your voice is my voice, and there are other people that are on the college at Advance UK who will also be your voice. There are also people on the college Advance UK who perhaps would be not my natural drinking partner or going out to dinner partner, because they're going to be far more intellectual than I am, and they might be an expert in finance, they might be an expert in migration figures, they might be an expert in whatever sphere that Ben has seen fit that needs covering. But the beauty of the college is there's 100 people, experts in their field. I mean, you might say, well, what's your expertise, Paul? Well, hopefully Ben recognises that my expertise is being able to communicate with people, being able to bring people on board and, try and put things together for people and make our home a happier home. He might have other ideas for me. He might feel that my job will be something else. But whatever it is, I'll be proud to serve and proud to do it. There will be no payments, but this is not about the money. This is about serving our country, and that is what Ben is all about. Ben is about serving our country. And that, my friends, is everything and all that matters right now. Rob Quint says, can't wait for what's around the corner. Things are certainly changing. Robert Seagull, Paul, we are in big trouble here. The Home Office even tried to silence Robert Jenrick talking about illegals. Listen, don't be under, Robert, you're absolutely right, but we must be under no illusions. The politicians that are in charge of our country right now are not people that we are used to dealing with. They're not people who you would normally recognize as a politician. Probably like most people watching this right now, over the years, I've never really believed in my heart that our politicians could be that corrupt or that hateful or that wicked or that evil. But I was wrong. I was wrong. And these people that are in charge now, I believe, are completely out of touch with reality, completely out of touch with humanity. They are more worried about something that is happening thousands of miles in another part of the world that we have absolutely nothing to do with. We may have had many years ago, but that's got sod all to do with me, you, and our grandchildren. I think Keir Starmer is a total incompetent. He's a robot. He is completely incapable with communicating with or resonating with the people that he's supposed to represent. Look, I'm just a common old South Londoner. I've got loads of bloody tattoos. I don't particularly speak very well, but I tell you this, I will give myself one bit of credit. I reckon there's more people in the UK that respect me than there is Keir Starmer. And, you know, when you look at people like Tommy, for an example, who is on a completely different planet to me and to most people, right? If Keir Starmer was to walk down any high street on his own right now, like Tommy walked through London the other day, how long do you think it would be before there was a crowd of people around him telling him how much they disliked him and how unhappy they was with what he's doing to their country? Tommy walks down the road and he's treated like a national hero. Do they not understand? Does Keir Starmer and his Labour government not understand the way the nation feel about him? I'm tempted to say I don't think they do. I think that would probably be wrong. I don't think they care. That's the bottom line. I don't think they care. They care about power. They care about getting their own way. They care about silencing other people. They care about shutting down anyone that doesn't agree with them. This is not we have never had, ever in British history, we have never had a political party. We have never had a government like this ever before. They're wicked, they're evil, and it's just beyond belief where we are, where we're at with these people. Axel says the people are rising up. Look, listen, the Americans, let's get this right. The Americans are fully aware of what's going on. They're watching from across the Atlantic there. They know. Donald Trump knows. J.D. Vance knows. Everyone knows what is going on. I thought that Donald Trump trolled Keir Starmer. I think he took the piss out of him, quite honestly, whilst he was over last week. When he turned around and said to him about free speech, he knows. Donald Trump's not stupid. He knows. And I just wonder how far that the Americans will actually let this go before they start sanctioning this government and really start getting stuck in Labour and his Keir Starmer and his cronies. Because I don't think the Americans are going to... The Americans have stood by us and we've stood by the Americans for 2 world wars, and we've been the best of allies for many, many, many years. I don't think the Americans are going to turn their back on us anytime soon. And they know what's going on. The problem is that, again, I said this in a video that I released very recently, last day or so. You know, look, Labour are running out of time, running out of friends, running out of voters, and running out of credibility. I don't think they care, but the more desperate they come, the more desperate their measures may become. And I fear that they will stop at nothing to shut us down, to stop us from speaking, and to carry on their reign of terror, quite frankly. We talk about harassment, alarm and distress. The whole goddamn nation is harassed, alarmed and distressed. Am I wrong when I say that? Very interesting today to see masked men turn up at the event, at the demonstration outside the hotel in Canary Wharf. Masked men, don't usually see that, do we? Masked men turned up, caused some trouble, and blow me, within a few minutes or a few hours, a Section 42 was put in place, stopping protest outside the hotel for 28 days. I'm afraid to say that I'm very, very, very suspicious about that. People on our side, the people that are turning up to these demonstrations, the people that are standing outside these hotels, invariably, there are the odd exception, but invariably do not come along dressed like Antifa. So where these guys came from is anyone's guess. I do not believe that they were people from our side. I do not believe that anyone that's on our side wants to go to these demonstrations now and cause trouble. These are now peaceful, patriotic protests that are telling our government that we have had enough. We don't need to be causing trouble. We don't need to be throwing bricks or bottles, sticks or stones, or shouting abuse at the police. We don't need to be doing that. We don't need to be doing that because we hold the power. We are on the right side. And our mere presence, the most powerful image that I saw over the weekend was those hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Union flags and St George's crosses with a sprinkling of the cross of St Andrew, etc. That was the first powerful image that I saw from the weekend, that made the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. The second most powerful image that I saw this weekend was those women dressed in pink, and the girls leading the way at some of these demonstrations. I thought that was another super powerful image. What we don't need is men turning up in masks, dressed like Antifa, dressed like the hard left, dressed like they've come for trouble. We don't need that. We don't want it. They're not welcome as far as I'm concerned. Thank you very much, Anthony. I really appreciate that, my friends. So many hundreds and hundreds of chats again tonight. Good to have a few of you on board coming on live as well tonight. Red Army Man United. To everyone watching this live, the Red Army of Man United will be there on the 13th. We stand with you and our beautiful country. Fantastic. Absolutely, that's the way it should be. If we think that club football is important, then this is on a completely different level. Pauline Pace, thank you so much, Pauline. I joined Advance day one. For me, just shows evil walks our earth. Does Starmer think when he's of no use, he'd be safe? Do you know what? I think Keir Starmer, I saw this, someone else said this earlier on. I never like stealing someone else's thunder, but someone else said earlier on that when Keir Starmer's reign as PM is over, he's probably going to have to leave the country. And I would imagine that's probably right. I mean, he's never going to be able to go out for dinner, is he, without someone getting in his ear hole? Let's be honest. I mean, you know, when you're famous, if you're a famous individual, if you're liked, you can't go anywhere because people are always tapping you on the shoulder. They want a selfie, they want to speak to you, they want an autograph, they want this, they want that. If you're disliked, it's got to be even worse, surely. How is he going to live? How are any of those Labour front benches going to live a normal life after this is all over? People are just going to be on their case all the time. So it's going to be impossible for them, I would imagine. I mean, certainly I wouldn't want to live somewhere where everyone absolutely bloody detested me. Can't be a very pleasant thought, can it? Absolutely not. Right, guys, that is it. We've been on for an hour and 10 minutes. That flew by this evening. Thank you so much. Before we go, please give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. But more importantly, even if you don't want to do that, even if you don't like me, you don't like watching this channel, you just watch because I get on your nerves, whatever the reason you watch this channel for. There are over 2,000 people watching right now. How many of you have not joined Advanced UK this evening whilst this stream is on? Let's do it now. If you are watching this right now, let's go over to www.advanceduk.org and sign up and become a member this evening and go to bed with some pride in your heart that you're doing your bit. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. You know my message is one of peace, love and harmony. As always, stay safe, stay well. Look after yourself, those wonderful children, because they are our future. And when you get out on these demonstrations that are taking place across the country, please be respectful to the authorities. Please be respectful to the police. I know how many of us feel about them right now. That doesn't matter. We still pay them the respect that we should do. We behave ourselves because we're British. We don't lose and we know how to do things properly. God bless you all. I'll see you soon. Have a great week, everyone. I'll be back before you know it. All being well.